So, hello everyone. Good evening. This is Dr. Manju Chouhan here with you on this page, the page of Fertile Brains. So, I'm so thankful to Prasanna ji that he had given me this opportunity to have an interaction with you. So, thank you so much. And I'm equally thankful to the page also, the Fertile Brains, which is such a beautiful platform that we get an opportunity to interact with the people of intellectual capacity or intellectual discourse. Thank you so much, the PACE, as well as uh, the person who is coordinating, moderating, and doing multiple things at a time. Thank you so much. So let me introduce myself first, and then we will be talking about poetry. I will be sharing some of my poems because I write, I'm a bilingual poet, so I compose my poems either in Hindi or in English, most of the time in Hindi because it's very easy, easy, and yeah, Hindi is the language of my emotional makeup. English is the language of my intellectual makeup. So whenever it comes to writing poetry, so most of the time we switch on to emotional makeup. So that's why I prefer to write in Hindi. But here I would be sharing my poems, which have been written in Hindi as well as in English. So before that, I would like to tell you something about myself. So this is Dr. Manju Chouhan, working as a professor in Chandigarh University, teaching literature, and yeah, I have published even some certain books also. Like there were certain books which were published in collaborations, and there are certain books, like two books I had already published. One was in Hindi, that was Kavya Galiyan. Another one was this um, was in English language. So, and another book which is Prem Prairie, it is on the way. Almost is it is going to release very soon. So it's today only I got the poster from the publisher that it is being released very soon. So for this, I need the blessings of all the people who are going to join and who are going to watch the program. Please give your blessings to my book. So that's all about me. Yes, let's talk about poetry because sometimes I feel it is like boring whenever you are talking about yourself. Otherwise, also, who wants to know about you? But sometimes your life or your introduction or whenever you are explaining to yourself, so it becomes quite interesting. Especially, I feel poetry is something that must be interesting and entertaining and learning and useful. So many things I suppose should be there. So that's why let me introduce myself in some in a poetic way. So for this, I have some lines with me. So I would like to say, like I would like to introduce myself कि मिलती हूँ गलतियों से, मिलती हूँ गलतियों से एक ऐसी सीख हूँ, मिलती हूँ गलतियों से एक ऐसी सीख हूँ, शायर में चाहे जैसी हूँ, इंसान ठीक हूँ। मिलती हूँ गलतियों से एक ऐसी सीख हूँ, शायर में चाहे जैसी हूँ, इंसान ठीक हूँ। खामोशियों को खा रही थी जाने कब से वो, खामोशियों को खा रही थी जाने कब से वो, बोली तो खुद को पा लिया है ऐसी चीखूं, बोली तो खुद को पा लिया है ऐसी चीखूं, शायर में चाहे जैसी हूँ, इंसान ठीक हूँ. So this is a kind of like introduction. Yeah, I would like to introduce myself. I'm a good human being, according to me. I don't know what rest of the people think about me, but I feel that is more important to be a good human. So that's why this is like a way. I would love to introduce myself. Yes, I would like to say something more about myself because poetry, I feel most of the time it is subjective. It is personal. So whenever you are talking about even the other people also, then you are very personal. Like it's a like your personal, point of view that you are expressing there. So that's why again there are a few lines that I would like to use as the part of my introduction. कि दुनिया की नजर में भले होशियार ना हुई, दुनिया की नजर में भले होशियार ना हुई, कश्ती मेरी तूफानों से कभी पार ना हुई, दुनिया की नजर में भले होशियार ना हुई, कश्ती मेरी तूफानों से कभी पार ना हुई, फिर भी है नाज खुद पे फकत एक वजह से, फिर भी है नाज खुद पे फकत एक वजह से, दहलीज हूँ दरवाजा हूँ दीवार ना हुई. So this is also very important. We know Robert Frost, who was uh, who told us how important it is to remove the barriers, how he was against the walls. I hope, especially those people who love poetry, they must have read his mending wall. So it shows how he never believed in barriers, and these barriers may be the borders. Yeah, whenever we come to these poets, yeah, often we have a question like how to write a poem and how do I write a poem. Suppose if a person is there and he wants to compose something, so what is the way? There are so many people who actually have explained it. Like William Wordsworth was there and he said poetry is a spontaneous, powerful emotions recollected in tranquility. And there was Robert Frost, who was writing poems in a very simple language. He was talking about simple things. He was talking about, but yeah, very wisely. I hope everyone remembers the poem. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. I have many promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So, such poems are there. It seems as if these are the poems which comes out of the heart directly. There is no barrier. There is nothing that they have covered. Sometimes it happens that we are using the words like the mask for our emotions. Our emotions are there, and those emotions are being described, or those emotions are presented under certain kind of disguise. That disguise is the disguise of words. So the poets, especially the poets that I am going to talk about, or that I'm talking right now. So I feel these are the poets who have not used their words as the mask. Rather, they have uncovered the emotions. So their naked emotions are being displayed in their poems. And I suppose this is the beauty of poetry. So although there are different people who write poem in a different way, and I feel that poetry is something spontaneous, as William Wordsworth said. So I also feel as if it comes to a poet just like the leaves comes to the tree, without any bindings, without any force. So that's why sometimes there comes a question on poetry on a call, like you are given certain kind of things and then you write poems. So obviously you force yourself to for writing on a particular topic. But I suppose true poetry comes from within. Like it is come itself. Spontaneously it comes, just like the leaves come to the tree, or rain comes from the heaven, it falls there on the earth without any bindings, without any force. So it comes automatically without any force. So I feel that is the poetry. So I have already talked much about poetry. Let's have some poems. So let me start my poem from, I have already recited a few Hindi poems in front of you. So let me start with some English poems. So, like, if we talk about although we have this also, this holy, it is there in the air. So I suppose that would also be a very nice idea if I start something about holy, or you can say about the colors. So I have a poem, although that poem is there in Hindi. So I would love to recite that poem, because this is also very, very important if you have some kind of festival and then you are talking about certain kind of things. So let me recite this poem in front of you. I hope you would like this poem. So the poem is, it's a kind of song actually. रूठों को मना लेना होली के बहाने से. singing is so contagious. It's so infectious that whenever you find someone is singing, so you also start singing. And if we talk about Holi, yeah, you know, there was a time whenever the people, especially the women, they used to gather, at a place, and then they used to sing the songs of Holi, the songs which were full of colors, and they used to enjoy a lot. That was actually the true kind of celebration, the real celebration of Holi. Right now, it is just for one day, or yeah, only for one day. The people would go and then they would put some color on someone's face. So I suppose this kind of the celebration that the people they used to have earlier, it has come to an end. But yes, I have the memories of those songs. So that's why those songs inspired me to write this poem, or whatever you call it, a song. So let me recite it for you. रूठों को मना लेना होली के बहाने से, थोड़ा मुस्का लेना होली के बहाने से, जिसे छूना तमन्ना थी और छू ना पाए थे, थोड़ा रंग लगा देना, थोड़ा रंग लगा देना होली के बहाने से, थोड़ा मुस्का लेना होली के बहाने से, गर तन मन सूखे हो एहसास अधूरे हो, गर तन मन सूखे हो एहसास अधूरे हो, थोड़ा मन को भिगो लेना, थोड़ा मन को भिगो लेना होली के बहाने से, थोड़ा मुस्का लेना होली के बहाने से, कुछ जख्म जो गहरे हों गर भूल न पाते हो, कुछ जख्म जो गहरे हों और भूल न पाते हो, थोड़ी भांग चढ़ा लेना, थोड़ी भांग चढ़ा लेना होली के बहाने से, थोड़ा मुस्का लेना होली के बहाने से. So this was one of the song. I don't know whether I am not able to see those people who are looking at me or who are listening to me. So I actually wanted to know their reaction. So it's okay. So yeah, let's move to the another poem, which is in English. So I would like to recite the poem, which is about heart, very important organ of our body. Heart, you are a traitor. You forced me to go the path that I had not chosen. You cried far more than the pain you bore. I liberated you from the prison, and you imprisoned me in your cell. Heart, you are a traitor. But the inside of you is too strong to be broken. Normally, people say that the heart is broken, but actually, it's very difficult to break the heart. So that's why I write here. But the inside of you is too strong to be broken. I burnt my hands in extinguishing the fire which devoured you. But you set an infinite fire on me. You set an infinite fire on me. So this was the something different. Let me move to the other poems that I would like to recite here. So this is again a Hindi poem, as I told you that I love to write in Hindi because I find this is the language of my emotional makeup. English is obviously it's a kind of intellectual discourse that takes place in like in the class whenever like I'm there with the students or whenever we are doing something intellectual discourse, some kind of learning discourse. But poetry is something whenever you are opening up your heart. That's why most of the time it is in Hindi because that is obviously the regional language. So another poem in front of you. एक ख्वाब की तरह ही तो बिखर गए हो तुम। एक ख्वाब की तरह ही तो बिखर गए हो तुम। दिल पूछता है आंख से किधर गए हो तुम। एक ख्वाब की तरह ही तो बिखर गए हो तुम। दिल पूछता है आंख से किधर गए हो तुम। था एक सा ही रोग और एक सी दवा। था एक सा ही रोग और एक सी दवा। मुरझा गई हूं मैं और सवर गए हो तुम। था एक सा ही रोग और एक सी दवा। मुरझा गई हूं मैं मगर सवर गए हो तुम। दिल पूछता है आंख से किधर गए हो तुम। खोई सी मैं रहती हूँ। खोई सी मैं रहती हूँ मदहोश सा है मन। खोई सी मैं रहती हूँ मदहोश सा है मन। सांसें मचल रही हैं नटखट हुई धड़कन। खोई सी मैं रहती हूँ मदहोश सा है मन। सांसें मचल रही हैं नटखट हुई धड़कन। तस्वीर बन के मुझ में कब उतर गए हो तुम। तस्वीर बन के मुझ में कब उतर गए हो तुम। दिल पूछता है आंख से किधर गए हो तुम। दिल पूछता है आंख से किधर गए हो तुम। So yes, I can see here even certain comments also, which are most of the time from Mr. Prasanna. Thank you so much for your beautiful, lovely comments. Thank you so much. So yeah, so let's move to something different. So it's a humorous poem. Humorous in that sense because it is about obviously Holi, but this poem is full of humor because I had imagined the movie Sholay. So it's a very famous dialogue actually there in the movie. कब है होली कब है होली गब्बर सिंह he asked the people कि रामगढ़ में होली होएगी. So on that particular day he would go there and then he would kill जय और वीरू को मारना है उसे. तो I have imagined it in a different way. So that I'm keeping in front of you. Just let me know how it is. तो रामगढ़ में आज मचा है होली का हुड़दंग. This is another poem. रामगढ़ में आज मचा है होली का हुड़दंग. जय और वीरू ठाकुर गब्बर नाचे मिलकर संग. तो अदरवाइज तो दे आर एनिमीज है ना, दुश्मन है एक दूसरे के, पर आज वो होली में दे आर डांसिंग टुगेदर. तो रामगढ़ में आज मचा है होली का हुड़दंग. जय और वीरू ठाकुर गब्बर नाचे मिलकर संग. मौसी टंकी पर चढ़ बैठी. मौसी टंकी पर चढ़ बैठी पीकर लोटा भंग. डाकू छुप छुप भाग रहे हैं धनों का आतंक. आई होप I don't know whether the people of this generation they know this movie or not, but yeah, the people of my generation they were mad for this movie. It was the I would say the most popular one. तो उसमें धन्नो है जो कि बसंती की घोड़ी है. तो अब वो आतंक मचा रही है कि तो इसलिए डाकू भाग रहे हैं. तो मौसी टंकी पर चढ़ बैठी पीकर लोटा भंग. डाकू छुप छुप भाग रहे हैं धन्नो का आतंक. सन्नाटा ना मिले कहीं पर चाचा हो गया तंग. बिकॉज चाचा वॉज ऑलवेज सेइंग कि ये इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई. तो अब उसको सन्नाटा नहीं मिल रहा. तो सन्नाटा ना मिले कहीं पर चाचा हो गया तंग. गब्बर रोता फिरे बावला लगा दिया उसे रंग. गब्बर रोता फिरे बावला लगा दिया उसे रंग. तो दिस वाज द अनदर पोएम Now let me share something different with you. So what should I share? Okay, let me share something in English, because as I promised you in the very beginning that, I would be reciting my poem in both the languages. So this is something about the words which connect us, but sometimes these words takes us apart, you know, make us separated. So what is left between you and me? What is left between you and me? Monotonous silence and dry talks. Words connect us and tear us apart. Tracks which are forced to be together takes us farther and farther. So there are certain kind of relationship whenever you force yourself within some kind of relationship. So the closer you go, the farther you feel. So this is something that I wanted to communicate in this poem. This is actually not a poem, rather you can say these are the very short poems that I'm sharing with you, because if we look at a life, so nowadays our attention span is also has become shortened. जैसे पहले पुराने टाइम में we had the movies, 3 hours की movie होती थी, and there were songs and so many अंतराज were there within the songs, है ना? So now with the passage of time लोगों में इतना patience नहीं है कि वो इतना लंबा song सुनेंगे, तो that's why now they have reduced it to 2 अंतराज. अब उसमें 4 अंतरे नहीं होंगे, उसमें 2 अंतरे होंगे. So that's why I thought that people must not feel bored. That's why I have reduced the length of my poems. So these are very short poems. So another thought actually. We aspired and prayed. We came into this life with certain kind of aspirations, so many desires. We aspired and prayed, suffered and learned. We actually learned through the suffering. That's why in the very first, whenever I introduced myself, I said, मिलती हूँ गलतियों से कैसे सीखूं. तो हम गलतियां करते हैं, फिर हम सफर करते हैं. So we aspired and prayed, suffered and learned, met and fought. Whenever we meet, we start fighting. So we met, we fought to compete, to grab, and to win. We did it, and then we went back. So this is the journey of life. Like this is something that we are doing very foolishly. We consider that we are the wisest creation of the God, but what we are doing in our life. So this is just like we aspired, we prayed, we suffered, we learned, we met, we fought, we competed, we grabbed, we won, we did it, and we went back. So obviously we need to find out the meaning of our life. But in our life, which is full of problems, should we criticize problems? Are these really the obstacle, or whether these are the blessings in disguise? So another thought is there. The hurdles are many. Can I touch the silver seam? The hurdles are many. Can I touch the silver sheen? I think I can. Hurdles are innocent. The problems are actually innocent. The hurdles are innocent without the venom of the flowers. Obviously, this is a kind of symbol. I hope you can understand here. The flowers, which look beautiful, but they are full of venom, very dangerous. Those people who are sweet all the time with you, who never get angry with you, sometimes they may be more dangerous or very dangerous as compared to the other people who are very open to you. Whenever they are angry, they would show their anger. So this is something that I would like, I try to say here. The hurdles are many. Can I touch the silver sheen? I think I can. Hurdles are innocent without the venom of the flowers. You won't die of it. This is the reality of life, that we suffer and no one dies of suffering. See, what happens whenever we are working, है ना? आप अगर हम कोई काम कर रहे हैं, कोई काम करने से कभी भी नहीं मरता है. People die of doing nothing. Whenever they are lazily lying somewhere, then they have certain kind of diseases. काम करने से कभी किसी को बीमारी नहीं लगती है. So that's why it is just like the hurdles are innocent. You won't die of it. You won't die of suffering. You won't die of problems. Rather, you would feel, you would become healthy. You would become stronger, I would say. So this was something like the teacher within me. It comes out again and again. And yeah, so there are some feelings, the feelings of a beloved, or yeah, I would like to see some comments here. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. So because I have less time, so I would like one of my poem with you in front of you. That poem, yeah, a Hindi one, because that is my favorite one. So this is about, like, we just celebrated Women's Day. So this is almost the same. So there was a time whenever the women, they did not have the right to speak up. So the women were supposed to, like, whenever they were speaking, the people used to criticize. They were asking them to keep quiet. So that's why they were, then I wrote a poem. I wrote कि घर के भीतर थी तो बहन थी, बाहर क्या निकली चीज हो गई, चुप थी तो समझदार थी, बोली तो बदतमीज हो गई. But now they have the right to speak. I'm speaking in front of you. There are so many people who are, so many women are there, and they are working at various, post, dignified, very, responsible positions they are holding. So that's why now, suppose if someone is saying ki boli to badtameez ho gayi, so that won't be the justice. That's why I wrote something different for, like, I revised my poem and then I wrote this another poem. So that I'm going to share with you. So कुछ दूर मेरे साथ चल तो सही, कुछ दूर मेरे साथ चल तो सही, तो मेरी रूह में पिघल तो सही. कुछ दूर मेरे साथ चल तो सही, तो मेरी रूह में पिघल तो सही. नई दुनिया को इंतजार तेरा, नई दुनिया को इंतजार तेरा, बस जरा घर से तू निकल तो सही. ठोकरें सीढ़ियां बन जाएंगी, ठोकरें सीढ़ियां बन जाएंगी, खा के ठोकर जरा संभल तो सही. ठोकरें सीढ़ियां बन जाएंगी, खा के ठोकर जरा संभल तो सही. मिलेगा सब तुझे उस रास्ते में, मिलेगा सब तुझे उस रास्ते में, तो खुद की खोज में निकल तो सही. मिलेगा खुद सब तुझे उस रास्ते में, तो खुद की खोज में निकल तो सही. नाज तुझ पर करेंगी ये नस्लें, नाज तुझ पर करेंगी ये नस्लें, अपने सांचे में जरा ढल तो सही. नाज तुझ पर करेंगी ये नस्लें, अपने सांचे में जरा ढल तो सही. एंड दिस इज द लास्ट कपलेट. रास्ते चूम लेंगे पांव तेरे, रास्ते चूम लेंगे पांव तेरे, रुकी क्यों है घर से निकल तो सही. रुकी क्यों है जरा सी चल तो सही, तू मेरी रूह में पिघल तो सही, तू मेरी रूह में पिघल तो सही. सो थैंक यू सो मच. सो दैट्स ऑल for the day. Thank you so much, Prasanna ji, for giving me this opportunity. And that's it.